We, the people in the house. This is the United States Private Enterprise Free State in with another public announcement. Well, you see the title. Check it, my people. Of Saturn, my people. 6-pointed star. All right. So we're about to get up into this live right now, into this lesson. 407-300-5377. That is the number to call to learn how to get back on the land, be free. You know what I'm saying? So, now my people, a government or state itself can have allodial title. A government or state itself can have allodial title. The answer historically is yes, in a sense. So let's break that down. In a sense, what do we mean? Allodial title, traditionally allodial title traditionally means ownership of land that is not held from a higher lord or sovereign. Under common law and feudal systems. Okay, my people? So, a sovereign state or monarch was often considered to hold land alloidally because there was no higher earthly authority from whom the land was held. So, they consider themselves the highest on the land, and they were the monarchs who held the allodial title. So, if you consider yourself to be the highest on the land, then you too can make an allodial title. Private individuals generally did not hold allodial title under feudal systems. They held estates or interests in land. Now, isn't that what we're doing right now today in the United States of America? We are holding an interest in everything that we purchase. We have an interest in the mortgage. We have an interest in the vehicle. We have an interest in all our estates. So, in the United States, true private allodial title is generally not recognized. Most private landowners hold fee simple absolute, which is the strongest form of private ownership, but remains subject to governmental powers such as taxation, eminent domain, police power, health and safety regulations, escheat, property passing to the state if there are no legal heirs. So, wouldn't you want to have a title to leave to your heirs so that the estate does not become escheat? Property passing to the state if there is no legal heirs? And if you don't have children, you have other family members. And if you don't have family members, then make you up some family members like your friends. So, now, if a person is the owner of a government or state, can they have a allodial title? What the question is saying, my people, we the people, if a person, you, are the owner of a government or a state. So if you made a government and your government has an EIN number, if you made a state and your state has an EIN number and you registered your government and your state, then, and you've done all the proper paperwork on your government and state, then that government and that state can have allodial title, because only the government, when we get deeper into this, holds the allodial title to all private property. Now, in a constitutional democracy like the United States, no individual owns a state or the government. Government officials administer public offices, but they do not own the state or its lands in a private capacity. So, the government, what they're saying, does not have the right to officially they administer public offices, but they don't have the right or have an allodial right over the land. So what is going on right now in the United States of America? How can the government just come in and confiscate land, throw people off their land? Isn't that an act of war? Well, let's get into it. Now, in New York, private landowners generally do not receive allodial title. Instead, when you receive a deed conveying ownership, the interest is typically fee simple, absolute, which is the broadest form of private ownership recognized under New York law. So, check it, my people, we the people. The fee simple is also found in this document, okay? Let's link this together. Fee simple is also found in the form for certificate of title, real property, okay? Article 12, form for certificate of title. The registrar's certificate title shall be in the following form. And it goes on further to say, we're going to read it. You got to stick with me and you got to listen, because I'm the only one telling this to you and putting it together. Okay. Right here. Residents and if a minor give his age, if under other disability, state the nature of the disability, is the owner of an estate in fee simple or as case may be. So that's where the birth certificate is linked to the fee simple. The fee simple is the title to the land. This is the document that goes down into the registrar's office that has to be filled out for the birth certificate and the transference of the land to you. So, as we go back and flip it, because this is how you link it together. So the fee simple is linked to the birth certificate, okay? So you have your fee simple, which is the broadest form of private ownership recognized under New York law. Now, allodial title, historically, the concept, ownership is not held under any higher sovereign and generally free from feudal obligations. Fee simple, absolute, modern New York, a person may own, sell, devise by will, or place the property into a trust, but the property remains subject to the state's lawful powers, such as property, taxes, eminent domain, zoning, and certain other regulations. Now, researching deeds in New York or records in New York City, all right, DOF, okay, the system Those records typically reflect transfers of fee simple or other recognized property interests, not private allodial title. So where are you going to find the private allodial title? Down in the registrar's office, Title 12. That's where you're going to find the absolute fee, which is, according to New York law, the allodial title. Now, whether a trust or a specific type of deed can convert New York real property into allodial title, the answer is no. Creating a trust or recording documents does not change the legal nature of the title from fee simple to allodial under New York law. So, then you have to ask yourself, what does? Okay? You're asking yourself, what does? What's going to change it? So, what does my deed or title actually mean if it isn't allodial? Well, a deed is a legal document that transfers an ownership interest in real property from one party to another. The type of ownership it conveys depends on the language in the deed and applicable law. In New York, a deed commonly conveys fee simple absolute, which means the owner generally has the right to possess and use the property, sell or give the property away, transfer it into a trust, leave it to heirs through a will or trust, exclude others from the property subject to applicable law. At the same time, that ownership is subject to certain government powers, including property taxes, eminent domain, zoning, and other laws. So while fee simple is not the same as historically allodial title, it is the strongest form of a private ownership generally recognized for individuals in New York. So, my people, we the people, you would have to look up your state and its fee simple laws and its allodial title laws to see if it has any allodial title laws. So, let's go over these definitions real quick, my people. Well, beneficiary means a person who receives property in a transfer on death deed. So, what is a death deed? You have to find that out. Designated beneficiary means a person designated to receive property in a transfer on death deed. Joint owner means an individual who owns property concurrently with one or more other individuals with a right of survivorship. The term includes a joint tenant owner or community property with a right of survivorship and tenant by the entity. The term does not include a tenant in common or owner or of community property without a right of survivorship. Person includes a natural person, an association, broad, any corporation, whether municipal, stock or non-stock, court, governmental agency, authority or subdivision, partnership, or other firm, and the state. That is all a person. Property means an interest in real property located in this state, which is transferable on the death of the owner. Transfer on death deed means a deed authorized under this section. Transfer or means an individual who makes a transfer on death deed. Non-exclusivity, this section does not affect any method of transferring property otherwise permitted under the law of this state. Transfer on death deed authorized. An individual may transfer property to one or more beneficiaries effective at the transferor's death by a transfer on death deed. Transfer on death deed revocable. A transfer on death deed is revocable even if the deed or another instrument contains a contrary provision. Transfer on death deed non-testamentary. A transfer on death deed is non-testamentary. Capacity of transfer or the capacity required to make or revoke a transfer on death deed is the same as the capacity required to make a will. Requirements. A transfer on death deed. That's a requirement. Except as otherwise provided in this subdivision shall contain the essential elements and formalities of a properly recordable intervisions deed. B, shall state that the transfer to the designated beneficiary is to occur at the transferor's death. C, shall be signed by two witnesses who were present at the same time and who witnessed the signing of the transfer on death deed. D, shall be acknowledged before a notary public, and E, shall be recorded before the transferor's death in the public records in the county clerk's office of the county where the property is located is the same manner as any other type of deed. Notice: delivery, acceptance, consideration not required. A transfer on death deed shall be effective without a notice or delivery to or acceptance by the designated beneficiary during the transferor's life, or B, consideration. Now, revocation by instrument authorized, revocation by act not permitted. A, subject to paragraph B of this subdivision, an instrument shall be effective to revoke a recorded transfer on death deed or any part of it only if the instrument, one, is one of the following. A transfer on death deed that revokes the deed or part of the deed expressly or by inconsistency. B, an instrument of revocation that expressly revokes the deed or part of the deed, or C, an inter vivos deed that expressly revokes the transfer on death deed or part of the death deed, and 2, is acknowledged by the transferor after the acknowledgement of the deed being revoked and recorded before the transferor's death in the public records in the county clerk's office of the county where the deed is recorded. If a transferor If a transfer on deaf deed is made by more than one transferor, one, revocation by a transferor shall not affect the deed as to interests of another transferor, and two, a deed of joint owners shall only be revoked if it is revoked by all of the living joint owners. So my people, we the people, big up to all my people in the public chat. Annie, Lou, um, Omweed, Ezzy Qualabake, Real Daddy, let me see, Real Daddy. Big up to all my people in the private chat. So, my people, it's a lot of things that you must know if you are very much so interested in putting yourself back on the land and not being lost at sea anymore. You need to give us a call, 407 300 5377. Okay, get with Flame, get this knowledge, get this wisdom, get this understanding, know the ledge of what you're doing before you jump off it. Straight up. So, I dropped you a lot on how many minutes? In 22 minutes, I dropped you a lot. You know what I'm saying, my people? Now, that revocable transfer on deaf deed, notice to owner. You should carefully read all information on the other side, okay? You may want to consult with us before using the information. Straight up, 407 300 5377. We are dropping mad science on you right now. This is based on you coming back on the land, and they know that you're back on the land because the systems will link up to prove that you're no longer lost at sea and you're back on the land. Now, this is a business. We do trust and estates. We do consultations. We do freedom classes. We do paperwork. So we type up paperwork. All you got to do is call us up. If you are too busy, we handle the business for you. Trusted, and we're a bonded company. 407 300 5377. Okay, now my people, we've been at this for 6 years. Okay, well, 5 years and a half we've been at this. So we're trusted, we're a bonded company, and we do handle the trusts, estates, paperwork. We can go into court for you if this is in New York. Okay. Now, if you want us to travel to where you are, but we only deal with New York court system. Just to let you know, and if we have to deal with another state's court system, you will have to pay for all of the research and time that we're doing for you. 407 300 5377. Okay, this is the United States Private Enterprise Free State. And I am Flame, your host, giving it to you raw and uncensored. We give you all the truth, straight, no chaser. So my people, you gotta get your feet back on the land. You've been drowning out there at sea. You know, we can see you trying to wave and shit for some help out there, but some of us don't got boats to get out there on sea to help you. So you got to get yourself back on the land. And that's what we do. We help you get back on the land. Okay? So if some of you were doing your NVDC, no, make sure that you write NVDC and do a FOIA and ask them, do you have a vessel in their system in your name? And NVDC FOIA will get back to you with an answer. If they don't have a vessel for you in the system, then it's all systems go for you to go create your vessel. You create your vessel, get with us. We got that process too. 407-300-5377. You know, everything is lawful, on the record, being filed, okay, as the filer. You know what I'm saying? Go back, look at my other live, you know, descriptors and identifiers. That video I dropped mad science on it, and that's the whole science, and that's one of the keys to the entire system is identifiers and descriptors. Without identifiers and descriptors, you can't get through the system. You won't be able to get an allodial title. You won't be able to get a fee simple title. You will still be lost at sea until you understand what your identifiers and your descriptors are. And you have to know when you're standing there in front of a registrar, because a county clerk is also a registrar. So, my people, but there's only one registrar that you want to see about that fee simple title. And we got all the source that you need. 407-300-5377, my people. Okay, you don't believe it? Then check it out. This is it. This is one of the documents. And should we flip the pages of the documents? This is the document that you're going to need. We got it right here. I'm flipping pages, my people. I'm flipping the pages to the document. You see? Flipping the pages for you. This is one of the documents that you need to stand before the registrar to get your fee simple title so that the property can be transferred to you. Okay? So that the property can be transferred to you. Okay? That's the bottom line, my people. You want a transfer of the fee simple to you. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? You want that transfer and you want it now. Okay? You want that transfer now. So you have to give us a call, 407-300-5377. Okay? You want to get back on the land? We can help you get back on the land. Straight up. But you know, the consultation ain't free. So you want to learn how to get back on the land lawfully, okay, in fee simple, then you're going to give us a call, 407-300-5377. Straight up. You want to get back on the land, my people? Are you tired of drowning out there, lost at sea, just going through commerce, dealing with pirates on the high seas? Yo, I know you got to be sick and tired of that, them stealing your property, them doing all types of crazy shit that they don't supposed to do to you. And that's because you're not on the land, boots on the ground. That's what it's all about, my people. It's all about boots on the ground. Okay? So, what other goodies do we have for you today? Because, I dropped a boatload of knowledge on you. So, what else we got for you today? Let me see. Well, that's too private to talk about. I can't talk about that. You would have to call to find out about information like that. I can't drop this. I can't drop this. I can't drop none of this. Not on a live. Can't happen on a live, my people. Can't drop that. Well, let me see what this information is. Maybe I can drop something here. Nope. Can't drop this either. Because this is all private knowledge that you have to call up to find out. 407 300 5377. So, we dropped it today on you about coming back on the land, real property deeds, real property title records. You know what I'm saying? County land records. You know what I'm saying? And there is a remedy for you. Straight up. There's remedy for you to come back on the land. You know what I'm saying? And it's lawful. It's acceptable. And it's approvable. But you have to give us a call to even get that information. Because we've already done it, my people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You have to come back on the land. The land is the only place that gives you the respect and the title of nobility that you're seeking in fee simple. Allodial title is called fee simple in New York. Okay? Now, what else can we get into? Well, let's talk about we could talk about record correction of a defective registration. How many people out there have a defective registration? If defects be found in the registration under supervision of a registrar of a certain office, the commissioner shall notify such registrar that such defects must be corrected within 10 days of the date of the notice. So, if the registrar has not corrected your document within 10 days of the notice, then you have a case. There you go. So, all your issues must be taken up with the commissioner. Based upon this fee simple and this title that has to be transferred and the document that has to be filled out by the registrar. So, my people, you perish for lack of knowledge. And that's the truth. No birth certificate, no certificate of birth or death after its acceptance for registration by the registrar, and no new certificate or other record made in pursuance of this article shall be altered or changed in any respect, except to correct errors made in completing the certificate by the person responsible for preparing the certificate, or as otherwise provided in this article. The commissioner shall provide the application form for a correction of a record, which must be properly dated, signed, and witnessed, or subscribed and affirmed by the person making them as true under penalties of perjury, together with such supporting proofs as may be prescribed by the commissioner. So, you have issues with your fee simple, allodial title, based on your certificate. Okay? I've just read what type of certificate was. You can make your corrections. There are certain corrections you would want to make because you want the title transferred over to something that's new. We can't talk about that here on this live, but if you give us a call, 407 300 5377, we can get into that conversation, which is a consultation, which is a fee. Okay? So, this is the United States, private enterprise free state. And this is another public announcement. You know? So, the bottom line is, my people, you perish. And, we probably have to keep saying it. You perish for lack of knowledge. Now, my people, we got another document. You see this document? I just showed you something all in your face. That was a document that you need to get at us so that you can correct your records. For real. Correct your records, baby. Correct your records. Now, let's go back to the fee simple down at the registrar's office. So, here is some stuff. Here's a document that they sent me back. Okay? What does it say? Attention. Okay? So it's attentioning me. It's telling me something, right? So I opened the document up, my people. Here it is. This is one of the documents straight from the commissioner. So everything that I'm reading you is factual. This is not hearsay. This is based on factual law out of their records. It's not what I'm saying. It's what they say in their record. Okay? And where is this coming from? Oh, you see it? NYC. Okay? Health Department, my people. So you can go ahead and start the correction process. You would want to make the correction process before you go down to the registrar, because you want the transference of the title to be into everything that's new. Do you understand? And we have the application. Okay? We have the application, my people. We can flip the pages of the application to show you that, yes, it's a real application. And you too can have an application. It's a real application, my people. I'm just going to turn the pages. The pages, you see, the application is like a passport application. It's like a real passport application. You know what I'm saying? It's an application, and it's telling you everything that you need to do before you go down to the registrar. You see what I'm saying? So you need these documents, people. 407 300 5377. Get with the United States private enterprise free state. Okay? Get with us. Get with us. We are giving vital information to put yourself back on the land. Wouldn't you like to walk upright instead of being a caveman? You know what I'm saying? And at that, all these cavemen are lost at sea. All we're trying to do is just help the people help themselves. We teach you how to fish for life. You know what I'm saying? We teach you how to fish for life, my people. This ain't about a quick make a dollar. This is about a one-time payment for the information. I give it to you straight, no chaser, in the private. And you go about your way and make your life a much better place to live on the land and not lost at sea, trying to swim and still being gobbled up by the sharks, the whales, the pirates in the boats, NVDC, on the sea, swiping all your bounty, all your treasure. So Puerto Rico is for the pirates, my people. That is a pirate territory. A private domain is not really private. Parts of it is private, but the public part is all pirates. So, my people, we, the people, we, the New York Lenapean Indians on the land, we own all of it. You have to claim it. Come back to shore, come back and step your foot on the land. All you Lenapean New Yorker Indians, okay? Straight up. The belly of the beast is here in New York. Straight the fuck up, my people. You in the belly of the beast, okay? I dropped you mad knowledge in less than 44 minutes. So, 407 300 5377. Holla. Get this land information. Learn how to be free now. You know what I'm saying, my people? Straight up. Well, this has been another public announcement from the United States Private Enterprise Free State. Your host, Flame. We are free, my people. 407 300 5377. Stay up, stay strong, stay one, and we are out.